Jones Potter. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
so
you.
tell us all about yourself and your campaign and how people can help.
Well, I'm a candidate for city treasurer. I am the former treasurer for the state of Delaware, and I have served as finance director for the city of Wilmington. I spent 17 years as an executive with the DuPont Company and 4 years as a bank executive with MBNA, and have just been active and involved in the community even beyond financial roles in helping to bring the PAL Center to life and serving on or being a part of the founding board of Eastside Charter School. So Wilmington is home, it's where my heart is, and with the current city treasurer retiring after 32 years, I just absolutely believe it's important that someone who is a finance professional who can hit the ground running day one is what the city needs, and that I can do.
Tell us a little bit about the responsibilities of the city treasurer.
The city treasurer is essentially the banker for the city. The city treasurer handles all of the city's money that comes into its coffers, establishes the banking relationships, manages the cash on a daily basis to be sure there's enough liquidity available to meet the city's financial needs, invests any excess money that there is, handles the issuance of bonds to bring in money that can fund large capital projects for the city, and very importantly oversees a $300 million pension fund that 2,200 pensioners depend on every month for their check. So it's an extremely responsible decision, extremely responsible position, and unlike other positions that people are elected for, obviously equally as important, but where a broader knowledge of issues and general topics to residents may qualify one for a position. This one is different. This is a very technical position, and it really demands someone who has the academic training, the experience in finance to be able to handle those kinds of issues.
Okay. All right. How can people help? I know it's...
Well, we are down the stretch, and the absolute best way you can help is to come out on September 13th, go to the poll between 7 a.m. and 8 p.m. and cast your vote, and to vote for Velda. That's the absolute best way you can help at this stage. You can go on my website at votevelda.com if you have not heard enough about me and my background, and you can find out more. There's still time to donate because even in the last 2 days of a campaign, there are still a lot of commitments that have to be met that require finances. But what I ask for most is your vote on September 13th.
Okay. Dad, I know you're here. Did you want to?
Well, I'm excited about this whole campaign. I think that it's important that we follow a very short tradition, and that has been excellent from the time that Mayor Sills' minority won the mayorship, which had never a minority had ever won before, and I'm proud of his history. I'm also proud of the next mayor,
Jim Baker.
Jim Baker.
Okay.
I think that in a city like this, when things were falling apart, major companies leaving, it required quality people who could be very creative. At this time, it's more necessary to have quality people because we've lost all that revenue, and we've got to have somebody with a lot of experience. And if you look at Velda, and I'm not just doing this because she's my friend. I would never allow myself to do it for a friendship. I will do what I think is the best person for the job. I've got a lot of friends, but we're going to put that aside for a minute and realize the responsibility and the importance of quality people today. And I would not want to be a part of a system where folks could, in 4 years, say, we gave them a chance and they messed up. I don't think that Velda will mess up. She's never messed up. And so I am about the business of I wish I was in the city. I'd vote for because I do think she's quality. And so Velda, I'm with you, and God bless you. And I'm sure that the people out there listening will understand that it is their responsibility as much as yours to put you in there to make sure that we have a person in there that will make Wilmington successful.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. That means a lot.
Okay.
Did you want to give any of your contact information before we go to break, Ms. Velda?
Yes, I would. Again, my contact is votevelda.com.
Okay.
And most importantly, get out and vote on Tuesday. This is a real tenuous time for our city, and leadership is important. We're going to have a lot of changes in our city council and perhaps in the mayor's office, and there are going to be a lot of new people. I am not new to how the city is managed, and I think in addition to my financial expertise, I will bring a level of knowledge and leadership that will, I believe, help strengthen the city, to allow us to strengthen our neighborhoods, to allow us to be the best city we can possibly be.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
So we're going to take another quick break. And do we have any more guests coming on? Is Tom coming on? Tom's
Yes,
here, right? Okay.
yes.
So we're going to take another quick break, and not sure who's coming on next, but we'll be right back.
When I served as Newcastle County Police Chief, it was a tough job. Awakened by that phone call at 3 o'clock in the morning, many times involved a life or death situation. But the decisions you make as Newcastle County Executive never ends regardless of the time of the day. New problems hit your desk every morning that affects the lives of 550,000 people in Newcastle and Delaware residents. Keeping our county safe with a top quality police force. Improving the quality of life with a Class A library and park system. Keeping tight controls of your tax dollars. Helping the private sector create more jobs and controlling growth to stop urban sprawl. Every decision you make as county executive makes somebody unhappy. But being an effective leader is not a popularity contest.
Hello, my name is Wayna Dobson, your candidate for Wilmington City Council at large. Born in Wilmington and raised in Dunleavy, I am a mother and a grandmother, a Padua and Wilmington University graduate. Public service is what I've been doing for over 25 years. My experience, passion, and detailed resolving matters for citizens throughout the city of Wilmington has prepared me for the office of City Council at large. Citizens of Wilmington deserve someone who will work diligently on their behalf. If given the opportunity to represent you, I will continue my commitment of serving others. On Tuesday, September the 13th, vote for Wayna, City Council at large.
Hello and welcome back to the show. Again, we hope that you are enjoying everything so far. Please stay tuned because we do have County Exec Tom Gordon coming on, and County Council members Penrose Hollins and Jay Street coming on a little bit later during the show. And also, we're also going to do our funeral announcements a little bit early. We're not going to do them towards the end of the show. We're going to do them probably right after.
Right after this?
Right after this.
Okay,
we'll take
good.
a quick break and go to our funeral announcements. But like as we were saying in the beginning, Wayna and I haven't really been able to promote ourselves and promote each other because we've been so busy trying to help others promote themselves. So we just need to take some time just to talk about our campaign and how you can help and what we're about. I think Dad's here. He's gonna. Hopefully, he won't talk too long. He can get kind of carried away. I know he does have some things that he wants to say also. But we do have to be finished by 9 o'clock. Isn't that right, Dad?
He was the one who said that we're going to be done, didn't you, sir?
Absolutely.
Okay.
We want everyone that's running have a fair and a good time to promote themselves. You know, recently I've been doing some things in my office, and I came up with a little something that means a lot to me, and being in the funeral business, I often question life, and I question what are the two most important times in everybody's life, and of course the first is the time you're born, and the second was when you find your place in life. And I think that Trippy early in life found that he should be working with people. He surely supports me as a funeral director, but his true heart is in the community. And yesterday I was trying to find out what he was doing, and we was trying to get some money together, and he was short. But even in his short money, I saw him with a young man trying to buy some cookies from him. And I asked him, I said, how you gonna buy cookies, you ain't got no money? And he said, well, the Lord will make a way somehow. And so that has been his philosophy, that his place in life is to help people in Wilmington, Delaware. And sometimes we get a little disappointed with him about how he behaves, but at the same time, I know he's doing the best that he can, and that no one will commit themselves and give to the 2nd District and Wilmington what he has committed over the last at least 20 years of his life with people in the community. And so I guess he hasn't said a lot, but I guess what he can say is let his work speak for him. And all the signs and all the other TV time won't make any difference if his work can't speak for him. Wayne, and I want to say something to you, that you have committed yourself through this program to give this public the kind of information that is required for us to grow as a people. And I really want to thank you that you have volunteered. You have never received a dime for giving up every one of your Sundays, not everyone, but so many of your Sundays, to work for the general public. And I think if given an opportunity, you will continue that work as a city council person. So that's my, and I want to say this same thing with you. May the work you've done speak for you. And I think that if they do check your work, they will find that you're worthy of that position.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's true.
I appreciate that.
Thank you for that, Dad. But that's true. Wayna has, like as you just said, she has been doing the show for longer than I have been. And it's always been just out of her love for people and her love for the community. She's the driving force behind all of our community cleanups. She's always organizing and getting people to come and volunteer, and she just makes it happen. So I know that when she's on city council, she's going to do that much more, just because she's just community and she's people oriented. So I definitely want to encourage you to support Wayna on Tuesday, because she's just I think at the foundation, like I was saying a few weeks ago, you have to have good people in office. And good people, by good people I mean just people who care about other people. And Wayna is definitely a person who cares. Not any slight against anyone else who is running, but Wayna is just someone who I've known personally for I don't know, almost 30 years since I was like 2, and she was like 30. So, and ever since then, I mean, that the whole time she's just been somebody who has always just been about, you know, helping other people. And again, I'm sure she would do. Her being on city council will allow her to do that much more for the city of Wilmington. It's going to allow her to grow personally. It's a lot that goes on in government, and once you find out, we'll just be able to come back and talk about it on the show. And I guess one of our main goals, Wayne, should be to get more people involved. You know, there was an article in the News Journal that talked about some of the candidates running in different running for different positions and how they have never voted. And I think that was, I didn't read the article, but people came back to me talking about it, and it almost seemed like they were trying to, like the News Journal was trying to almost place like a black eye on those candidates. I'm not sure if that was, is that how it read?
It did.
It did. And I think that is a travesty, because if anything, they are living examples of what we should be about. I mean, you have people who have never voted, but now they are so much, they want to be so involved in their community and trying to do a good thing that they are actually running for office. And I think that's what it's all about. I think our goal is to encourage people to be a part of city government. And if they have never voted and now they're running for office, I say kudos to them. That is not a slight, in my eye, that is not a slight against their character or what they have done for their community, because the people that they mentioned have all been great community supporters. I'm not sure if the article even mentioned that at all, but just to say they have never voted and try to put a black eye over their candidacy, I think was wrong. If that's how it read, I'm sure. Again, I didn't read it. But I think our responsibility is to get people involved. And once people get involved, I don't think you should go and kick them for not being involved prior to them, you know, being involved. So, again, I just want to thank everyone for allowing me, I'll speak personally, to put up yard signs and just for your support over the last 2 terms. It's just wonderful, just being in the area, you know, where I live, and just seeing the support, people willing to support me throughout these last 8 years. It's definitely a blessing, and it feels good. It feels really good that I like that little. I didn't know you were even paying attention yesterday. My little boy wanted me to buy some cookies for his fundraiser at school. And it feels good to be able to do that. That's why I love living in that area, because there are kids who need someone. I'm not saying I'm the only person, but they just need someone who they can look up to. And I love being that type of role model. I don't shy away from that at all. I don't really talk about some of the things I do because I don't do it just to come on here or talk about it or go on Facebook and talk about it. But I just love being that person that they can say hi to, that they can maybe come up and ask, can they earn a couple dollars, instead of maybe going and asking someone else to earn a couple dollars, you know, the wrong way. They can clean up around the neighborhood, around the funeral home. They can help me wash my car. They can do certain things. I like being that person, and you know, with or without city council, I've always done that. But being on city council has just allowed me to see what happens in government and how, in my opinion, how much more government should be doing for its community. And I guess the biggest thing, we all have been asking for your support on Tuesday. We're asking for your votes, but please don't let it stop there. We need your support throughout the whole, every day after the election. That's when we need you the most, because there are groups that only cater to people who vote. So if you don't vote, your concerns may fall on deaf ears. But if every council member has 100 people behind them willing to rally and protest and boycott, that would be more powerful than having 10,000 votes on election day, I think. Because when those groups see that it's not just me, it's not just Wayna, it's not just other elected officials. We have a group standing behind us that at any point in time will come and say, we believe in what you're saying, Trippy. We believe in what you're saying, Wayna, and we're going to come. And we're going to show up. That's what's going to get people's attention. So we do support. We do need your vote on Tuesday, but even after that, we need your support. We need your bodies. We need your prayers after the election, because that's when the rubber hits the road, and that's when we need to show the certain groups that we mean business, and it's not going to be the same old get along to go along. And I love that I'm going to be a part of this next council, because I just think it's a group of people who are fresh and they're new, and they just want to, and they're community oriented,
Right.
and they're just going to get in there and they're going to do what's best for their community. It's not about friendships. Wayne and I may not always agree, but if she stands for something, or if I stand for something, I have to respect her, and she has to respect me for standing for it, and not just because Wayne and I are like family that we're going to support something that she may support me or I may support her, even though it might not be best for the community at large. And I think certain people in this next group of city council members are just that, and it's going to be really interesting just to see how we all mesh and how we all just try to take our city forward and do what's best for our community.
If I may, I want to say thank you both for what you said. Outside of me doing community things, I don't want people to be viewing, oh, she's just, a community person. I believe that God always equips you with what you need to go to the next level of your life. So He has afforded me the opportunity to work in government for Newcastle County government, and there I've learned so many things about how government is run, starting with the budget, procurement, which is purchasing. I help out on human resources. I sit on interview panels to make sure that we are fairly hiring people, and it's not just who, it's who's qualified and who will serve best. So I want to thank you in advance for supporting me. And Trippy, I'm really proud of him, how I've seen him grow over the years. And Trippy sacrifices a lot too. He picks up the children at 6 o'clock in the morning, takes them to breakfast, and then awards them, which makes them encouraged to do better, and not only them but their family and friends. So thank you for all that you do. All right, you're welcome.
But it is important to
we'll take a
go
ahead.
It is important that, I know I talked about a lot, but we definitely need you to come out and vote on Tuesday. Bring your friends, bring your family, encourage them, because again, I get into a whole nother tangent. So if we have time,
you're being Sammy
him,
Jr.
Right? Yeah, so I'm gonna cut it up right there. But if we have time towards the end of the show, I'll come back and I'll do a little recap.
Okay.
But we're gonna take a quick break. I think we're gonna do our funeral announcements now, right? So we'll be right back with our funeral announcements, and after that we'll have County Exec Tom Gordon.
All right, welcome back to the Congo Hour. I pray that the information that we are providing for you today will help you make an educated decision on who you're going to vote for on Tuesday, September the 13th. We are now on my favorite part of the show, Sammy's Corner. Trippy will be joining us. That's why Mr. Congo is sitting so close to me. So we have three very important men of our county. And Mr. Congo, you want to introduce them?
They already have introduced themselves years ago. These are probably the three most qualified men in government that I know of. And so they don't need any introduction. You just need to hear what they have to say. This is probably the most critical Sunday that we have all year, this year. Information that they have, you must pay attention to it. We have a lot to lose if you don't. If we lose our county government, we lose 4 years of hard work to reduce crime. When we talk about reducing crime, we're talking about finding ways to find people jobs. And Tom dug in and worked with the longshoremen to get the information to realize that Wilmington is a critical position for these big ships going up and down the Atlantic Ocean because the Panama Canal opened. And it is not a joke that 20, 30,000 jobs, even more, can be acquired, which means we replace General Motors and Chrysler and Avon and many other companies that have left. So it is critical that we don't let anyone else in there that may not want that to happen. So if we are smart, we're going to let this progress run. And along with that, we need a president of City Council that can work with him to make it happen. He can't do it by himself if he doesn't have the council. So we need leadership that agrees that they're going to work for the same purpose. And we have the guy that stimulates the council because he walks on tables and swings through on chandeliers and now and then does other things. But I'm excited about Jay and Penrose and the county exec. And I'm excited that they're going to give you words of wisdom. I'm so happy to be here today. I'm not going to say another word. Gentlemen.
You want to start with Jay and work our way this way?
I'm going to let them work their own way.
Okay.
They're going to do it anyway.
All right.
We'll agree with that.
You agree with me? Okay. All right.
You know, I'm going to be very honest. I'm going to try to not monopolize the time. I talked last time about what he did on his first watch in terms of the PAL Center, in terms of the $15 million grant to the city of Wilmington, the $1 million fire truck that I had to fight for that he had already put in his budget in my first council meeting. It's important to me that we also talk about what he's done this term. From the beginning, he raised the minimum wage for county employees from 7 whatever it was to 10.10, meeting the federal standard. In my council district, he started in the city, started the Cool Spring Farmers Market. In my council district, he started the Garfield Park Farmers Market. Throughout the county, he started a Young Writers Workshop. My children at Rose Hill Community Center won national recognition as young writers. I'm a co-chair of public safety. I resigned for a year from that position because of police shootings of African-American men during the former administration and ongoing dog bites. From the beginning, from the door, he immediately changed the policy on the use of dogs and the use of force. And the fact of the matter is there hasn't been any police shootings on his watch this time. That has to do with who he hired, who he put in place. He put an African-American as the director of public safety, and not last year, not 10 years ago, last month, he promoted Deputy Colonel Vaughn Bond to the highest position of any African-American police officer in the history of county government. And finally, from my end, in my own self-serving end, and I put it on Facebook this morning, I have busted my little left, but I spent 8 years fighting for a library. And finally, after I raised pure you-know-what, 8 years later, they put $6 million in the capital budget for a library in the Route 9 corridor. When he got elected, I said, I really don't care about a whole lot of other things, but I want my library. He said it's going to be more than a library. Now, I got $30 million sitting on the table from what he went from $6 million to $30 million to make it a library innovation center. I don't have time. I really don't want to deal with somebody coming in trying to stop it, modify, revise it. So I can give you 30 million reasons why I want him to be elected, why I want Penrose to be elected, because we started this. We started this, and we need to have the opportunity to finish what we started. So I could talk all night about it, but the record's very clear. He did more than a lot of city officials for the city of Wilmington in his first term. He's continued that, and increased funding for summer youth workers, increased funding for all the libraries, increased funding for all the volunteer fire departments. We did that under his leadership. And so I'm urging everybody, I can give you 30 million reasons why I personally, as councilman of the District 10, want him reelected. But that library is going to be beneficial to everybody, and everything that I've talked about is beneficial and has been beneficial and will continue to be beneficial to the entire county.
You're up next.
Well, I think what Councilman Street is referring to is the progress that we're making in Newcastle County from our libraries, which is very critical to the quality of life in Newcastle County. And the library on the Route 9 corridor was put there intentionally because we want to make certain that everyone who lives in New Castle County experience the progress of their government. So when we spent $30 million in a Route 9 corridor, where some folk felt that we had no business putting it there, we did it there because we're a very inclusive government. So we want everyone in New Castle County to be a part of this progress. So we're on a progressive path, and I agree with Councilman Street. A lot of the programs that we have going now, what would happen if you change leadership at a time when we're just starting to develop the library on Route 9, at a time when we're just getting ready to open the Delaware Board of Trade, at a time when there's now new evidence that the port's expansion is going to be real. All of these things are in progress. These are working things that are in progress. County government is not broken. So candidates will try to find something to say to people to make them feel that there's an issue. But if your parks are in tip-top shape the way they are in New Castle County, if your libraries are continuing to be expanded upon, if your police department is one of the best in the region, and your finances are solid, then there's nothing broken with this government. So people are trying to fix something that's not broken, and because they have ambition. So the only thing about New Castle County is that there are people who have ambition, who wants to seek office, and they have a perfect right to do that. But just be honest about who we are and where we are. And I think that what you see here are people that are part of that progress that we've enjoyed over the last 4 years, and we want to continue that progress without interruption. And I think I'm in the best position now with my experience on New Castle County, being part of all of this that's been going on, to continue that progress for another 4 years.
Well, it's been a great 4 years with good people like this, and Jay can do his own announcement for me, and I should have had him do a commercial. He's wonderful. They're both great to work with. We've done a lot, and I think one of the, as we come to the end of the campaign, I think we want to tell you that they're putting out a lot of false information. There's a commercial about me being arrested. Charges were dropped immediately, and it was they're misleading people with tapes that say Black lives don't matter, like, and the tapes being cut to portray that I said something different. They're trying every angle, I think, to say we're broke, we broke the county, we're not putting a station in Middletown. We have a paramedic station in Middletown. You know, anything they can think of to fire up the citizen to go against us, because we have not raised taxes under my term. We won't in the next 4 years. We haven't, $130 million. Our libraries, out of 10 of them, we built 8, and they're fabulous libraries. All of our parks are now being diverse and used by everybody, and they're wonderful parks. And the police department, as Jay said, is functioning, you know, without any complaints, and that's just amazing with the history of before that. So I guess when you come down to it, you know, we are going to turn around the city and the county with the Port of Wilmington, with the longshoremen who have created it, and who have you just did a news release a few minutes ago that's going to go out tomorrow about all the Chinese billionaires that are coming in with substantial money to buy up a lot of good stuff that's going to be very helpful. We have created a stock market on the 8th floor of the Hercules building. If you want to go watch it tomorrow, they'll be open and setting up. And with the stock market and the port, we're going to turn the city around, the state around, the county around, with other jobs that we're going to bring, because we believe we can save the city. We don't believe they're bad people. And they're just, a lot of poverty has occurred over the last 10 years. A lot of jobs have left. When you have no good jobs and you can't afford a house, you end up with a city of 1,700 empty homes and the rest being rental. We're going to turn that around and work hard with the city and the county to make it a great state. And we very much appreciate you considering the facts, not the myths that are occurring out there with our opponents.
Well, you're being very positive and very polite. You're telling a bunch of lies. And if they want A's for attack ads, I'll give them that. But in my opinion, the fact of the matter is, one of the major problems is those who have the most are angry about what this county executive and this council have done for the city of Wilmington, and those that don't have so much. And it's very important that everybody understand that, and that we be given the opportunity to continue on this mission.
All right, gentlemen, we appreciate you coming on and just clearing up the myths that have been placed out there. And I guess I just throw my 2 cents in that Tom has been great for Wilmington. And
Thank you, Trey.
And what he has wanted to do for the port, and politically things have been stalled just because they didn't want him to get credit for it. I mean, Tom is someone who loves the city of Wilmington. I look forward to him being governor one day.
I don't think I'm ready.
That's just
One more term.
Much of a good guy I think he is, and a guy who just cares about Wilmington and his people. For anybody to put out anything about Tom not caring about Black Lives Matter is ridiculous. If you do some research and find out what he has done for Black people in the county and specifically in the city of Wilmington. So again, we want to thank you all for watching. We're going to want to ask for your support this coming on Tuesday. Get out and vote, and bring your friends and your family. We do have one picture that we have to show of one more funeral announcement of Mr. Clarence McNeil, who passed away today. He transitioned to glory today, September the 11th. And that is again, that is Mr. Clarence McNeil. I apologize for not showing his picture earlier, but his services will be announced.
Real quick, 15 years ago today was 9/11, the attack. So just remembering those who perished, and for the first responders who went to the towers.
All right, we're going to end the show, and God willing, we will see you next Sunday.